Hi friends, it's the full moon in Libra, and on Saturday, April 12th, Venus will also be stationing direct. It will be in Pisces. Libra is ruled by Venus, so this is a big Venus day, and it is the full moon, so I wanted to do a tarot reading for you. This is actually a pretty special full moon because it is the first time that we have a moon in Libra that is not related to an eclipse since spring of 2023. That's a long time because we had eclipses happening on the Libra Aries axis for a while. So finally, this is a time where Libra gets to be out of the eclipses. So this is going to feel different and kind of getting us back into the swing of things of like normalcy for Libra and Venus. And then the fact that Venus is also going direct the same day, it's kind of all coming together. Now, you might have heard that it is the pink moon, and I think some people are thinking that that has something to do with love or means something special. The names of the moons actually come from what North American indigenous people would refer to the moons as. So like the wolf moon or the sturgeon moon or the snow moon, it had to do with like what was going on in that season. And the pink moon refers to the fact that there were these pink wildflowers that would bloom at this time. So it's literally just the full moon that is happening in April. Don't read too much into that. The moon itself isn't going to look pink. If you see pictures that make it look pink, it's just because that's the way that people are trying to make the lighting look. It has nothing to do with the color of the moon, the way the moon looks, or anything like that. It's just the name of the moon. Now, it is kind of timely this specific time because it is the full moon in Libra, with also it being the Venus direct energy. So let's talk about it. This full moon is calling attention to places where maybe you need to set boundaries, and full moons are always places where we want to release energy. And so sometimes setting a boundary is actually you being like, hey, I've been overgiving. I've been doing too much in this space, and I'm no longer going to give my energy here until or unless this other thing happens. Or if this happens, I'm going to need to draw my energy back. There's a lot about overgiving, about boundaries, about balance, about justice, of course, equality, peace, and beauty, okay? And so maybe also with the needing to release things around beauty, maybe there's places where you need to just feel your own beauty and release maybe your own insecurities about your beauty. But a lot of it is really about prioritizing where you're putting your energy forth and checking where maybe you're, again, overgiving or need to set some boundaries. So that's really the biggest thing with this full moon. So that's kind of what we're going to take a look at. Thank you, Spirit. If you're new here, my name is Beth, and I'm a trauma-informed intuitive tarot reader. I do offer personal readings at my stan.store, stan.store/IntuitivelyBeth. And this type of stuff, like bringing in the astrology and also thinking about like where it might be impacting your chart and how it's going to specifically impact you, those are the kinds of things I really work on with my VIP coaching clients. You can find the options for VIP coaching with me at that site as well. Okay, so already what I'm seeing is the Six of Stars in the world. This is so freaking literal. Okay, so literally the Six of Stars, this is Libra. This is the scales of Libra, of justice. And it's basically like, is someone giving more than they are receiving, or someone taking more than they are giving? It's like, if you have been taking, hey, there's strings attached here. Make sure that now you're paying in what you need to, and vice versa. If you've always been giving, like, are you receiving what you should in this time? The world sometimes also, like, it literally is showing this like cycle, and we've been going through, of course it's the moon cycle and things like that, but it's also this idea of like the cycle of all these eclipses, and how this is something that's probably been going on for the past 2 years. I would really encourage you to think about what was going on in your life in spring of 2023, April 2023, and that, you know, that full moon in Libra, it would have been a full moon also, and how things have maybe shifted for you. And you can also think back to October of 2024. That was the last time we had a new moon in Libra, and even though it was eclipse season, there's still like shifts and kind of planting seeds and things like that. And like how have you evolved since that time, and where have you still been overgiving, or where have you been overtaking? overindulging perhaps in some areas of your life as well. Venus can sometimes be a planet of overindulgence depending on what's going on. So that might also be something you need to be thinking about. And so there's just a lot of invitation to reflect is a lot of what I'm getting. I feel like you need to really like sit with the energy and really be honest with yourself, really truthful. Libra likes that truth and that honesty. And I think it's a lot about self-honesty here. 7 of crystals on the bottom of the deck is showing me that you have been having some self-deception, because I'm talking about the honesty. Okay, this is a card of deception, and I just feel like there's places where you have not been honest about how much you've been giving or taking. 3 versus 4, and you need to be more honest with yourself about it. Maybe you've been giving somebody too much of the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you have been giving yourself too much of the benefit of the doubt, or you know, sometimes there's stuff on TikTok or in, you know, just in general where people be like, you know, put yourself first, you're number one. Like, yes, there's an element of that, but also it can be taken to an extreme. And so maybe where there's some places where you've just taken things too much to an extreme, and you need to recalibrate and get back to balance, because the extremes are not places of joy either. And to recalibrate and get back to your peace and to your balance and to your serenity and to love, and to let the true Venusian energy of love flow with the Ace of Cups, you need to bring yourself back into balance. Yes. Look at that, like clarity of mind, a new perspective, going through this whole cycle of the Libra moons being in the eclipses, or being part of the eclipses. I feel like should have created a shift in how you view things, how you view what actually love is, both self-love and love of others. Okay. Okay, Page of Crystals was still there. That makes sense because I was still cutting. But now I also see the 10 of Cups. And I think that like when you really allow yourself to truly reflect and truly like honor boundaries, and also maybe check where you have, are you always respecting the boundaries that others have set with you? Are you maybe pushing on people's boundaries, things like that? So I think that's also something to be mindful of. Sometimes people push on boundaries, and it goes both ways. You need to own your side of the street and respect other people's sides too. With the 10 of Cups, I feel like this is opening your mind to how love should feel and be in a different way, because the old ways aren't going to feel good anymore. They probably never did, but I think that now, if you keep on loving in the way or existing in the ways where like you weren't addressing your boundaries, and I feel like for some of you I think you've been telling yourself for months, I need to set this boundary, I need to set that boundary, I need to do this, I need to do that, and like you still haven't done it. And I feel like this weekend it's like, do it. Like, do it. It's like, what are you waiting for? The longer you don't do it, the more you're going to, like, you had these 2 years of opportunity, and if you're still not doing it, you're just creating this, like, it's going to just keep getting worse. Like, maybe you're waiting for some perfect time, but you're actually, like, instead of choosing the 10 of Cups life, you're choosing the 9 of Crystals life. This is so stark, the difference between these two cards, right? And you can have this, but that's by checking the balance, checking the harmony, checking the boundaries. Yet another stark difference. Do you want this 9 of Crystals, or do you want this 9 of Cups? This person is balanced. This person is in harmonic energy exchange with themselves, with the universe, with others, all the different areas of life, the 9 Cups. And this person is feeling pain from the nine aspects of life, the different areas of life, because they're not in balance. They're not in balance with themselves. They're not in balance in their relationships. And that disharmony is dysregulating. So you can regulate through boundaries. Regulate through, here's another 9. Holy cow, all these 9s. 9 of Stars, 9 of Crystals. And it's like by regulating, right? That regulation is going to bring in abundance in all the different ways that you want. Abundance financially, abundance in love, abundance in peace. Four of Wands. Venus and Aries, it's coming back, right? Venus is stationing direct. Venus is in Pisces right now. It's going to go back into Aries. So like, I feel like you have a little bit more time. Like if you're like, well, shit, I can't do everything in 24 hours and I don't want to rush it. I get it. Okay. But like, don't put it off for long. Like you don't need to be impulsive. You don't need to be rude if you're setting boundaries and things like that. But you know the things that you've been putting off. Knight of Crystals, it's time to take the action. And I feel like you should do this before Venus goes into Aries. And that happens on April 30th, I believe. So otherwise you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Set your boundaries. Get yourself regulated through this. This was what you've been called to do this cycle. So now it is time. Okay, work up the energy that you need to so that you can be regulated and do it. Stop living in your fear that if you set boundaries, you're going to not like have the types of relationships you want, because if you're being honest with yourself, by the relationships you're not setting your boundaries in are also not the relationships that you want. So if you set a boundary, is it really going to be worse? Is it really going to be worse? You are being guided to do this. Hermit card, okay? It would be better to be alone like this and be spiritually aligned with yourself than to be alone like this. And right now in these relationships, you still feel alone. But here you could at least be in alignment with yourself. And who knows, maybe by showing up in that alignment, you'll invite the person or the people or in these different relationships to step up and be with you, Venus. The Empress. When you are in alignment, you attract in the abundance. This is what you're being called to do. All right, let's see if there's any, Stop letting your trauma, your fears, your heartache rule you, and instead show up with the most healed self that you can. Set your boundaries. That's how you protect your heart. You don't protect your heart by letting people take advantage of you. You don't protect your heart by not speaking your truth. You don't protect your heart by trying to manipulate other people's boundaries. You protect your heart by being your highest self, by speaking your truth, by honoring boundaries, by finding this balance, by having things be just in your life. Oh my God. The way I just said justice. The Libra card, it's literally the Libra card. This is Libra right here. The Libra scales, it's literally that. And then I was like, saw that I was cutting, so that's why I dropped into two piles. We have the Knight of Wands, heart-centered action. Have the courage to do this and you will be rewarded. Six of Wands, you will be rewarded. I think that's the message. Let me know what you're gonna do and if this inspired you.